welcome back to Cardiff City Live, Cardiff City World. This is. I'm your host, Evan James, and I'm not sure what's happening with this lighting today. It looks like I've entered heaven because it looks really misty behind me. Welcome back to Cardiff City World, and yeah, Wigan tomorrow. After looking at Wigan's recent results, I will say that does make me, I won't say nervous going into this game, but yeah, 5-0 against Barnsley. Yeah. Was it 5-0? Am I picking that up somewhere? Wait, was it? Or hang on a second. Hang on. I need to check this because I thought I saw a result somewhere. Wait, no, it's 1-1. Oh god, sorry. I was looking at someone's right. Okay, so where I got a 5-0 from, okay. Basically, I was looking at someone's predictions for the game. And it was 1-1, but for some reason I thought it was 5-0. Never mind. It was not 5-0, it was 1-1. So I'm less nervous going to this game now. I'm not playing anyway. Evening, everyone, by the way. Get your comments in ASAP. Yeah, just want to, well, go over a bit of the Wycombe game. And yeah, just have a nice chat. Evening, Cardiff City fan. Honestly, I just have nothing prepared for this, but I do have a few things to say first of all, just to get off my chest. As you sure, I can't even speak. I'm just gonna say it, right? Basically, the Dave Jones interview, honestly, I think it's really worth a watch. With Simon's doing, and there's more interesting interviews to come in the future with people that we've not done before. And that's including new episodes of Inside the EFL, which will be basically nothing seen by an independent media creator. And yeah, if you're not already, please do become a member of Cardiff City World because it really does help the channel out. I'm not reading all that off the script. I just feel like I don't say it every live. So yeah, nice to see you. Evening, Paul, as well. I hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, mate, I'm not sure. Sometimes I come on lives and I just completely just forget everything, and I forget that I exist sometimes. So I mumble and jumble up my words, basically. Play like we did versus Wycombe and take chances. We will tear them apart. See, this is an interesting point we'll come back to. And the man, thank you, Sai. Nice of you to tune in. I hope you feel better soon, guys. I wish Sai well. Hopefully he's not too unwell, but I want to step anyway. I want to get involved as much as possible, help the team out as the team player I am. And yeah, so what you bring up there, interesting, because I think that for large parts of that game, we played really well against Wycombe, but equally I was just as frustrated because we played well, but yet we still come away with a point. And it is a frustrating thing because I always look at that performance, think we're bound to put 3 goals past them. But then there's certain patterns of play that we see that are quite, I'll say predictable, they're repetitive. I think we're more focused on creating perfect passages of play as opposed to just being direct. I think if we could just be a bit more direct, I mean, Chelsea was an amazing game to sort of analyse, and I'm sure they played that game many times, but honestly, just keep watching back the game, how we played, because yes, we lost 3-1, but we were a lot more direct that game. At the same time, we still had possession of the ball. So we still did with what we wanted to do with the play, but there was a lot more structure, and you could tell that we were just in the third gear for that Chelsea game. Again, you can take whatever you want to say about the 3-1 loss. To me, that was a game that we couldn't really lose in terms of we'd only win or we would learn. And to get that far in the competition was great. And the fact now that we're out of all the cups, we can completely focus on the league. Whilst you want to have a great cup run, I feel like we already had a great cup run. And that performance against Chelsea was basically showing everyone, not just League One teams, but Premier League, Championship teams, that Cardiff City have got a bit about them. And we're definitely way better than a League One side. And I'll be honest, after the Wycombe game, I was really frustrated. I can't remember what I might have commented a few things in at Matt and Reese's live, but the 1927 Club or podcast, whichever one they prefer, they fight over it. But I really think that I am a guy that if I react just after the game, you're going to get my honest, direct, and blunt reaction. And that could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. But at the same time, it's like I don't I don't see how we can't get promoted. Like you can say, "Oh, jinx, touch wood," or like we're not going up now Ev because you've just jinxed it. It's like I don't really believe in that. But I genuinely look at the last, even just the Christmas period, right? How tough we've had it with the cup games, the Chelsea game, with the amount of like we haven't really got that much depth in our squad. Really, we got an all right amount, but there's no cover for left back. I think Joel Bagan had his first rest of a game, proper rest, not being in the squad, or at least on the bench. I can't remember. But that hasn't happened in God knows how long. I mean, they tried to rest him and put Mafika on, but in the end, after 30 minutes, Joel Bagan came on. He's had his first rest. Who else has had a rest? Kieran Ashford. It's like it's now getting to the point where I think the manager's thinking, okay, well, we need to start doing this. Like, every game now, we'll just take one player out of the squad completely. And I think it's deserved, really. Obviously, you can't do that to everyone at the same time. And I think they really are trying to monitor the intensity, I guess, what we're playing at. Because, whilst it is possession heavy, it is very demanding. And to think that, like, most of our players are still youngsters, why are we getting surprised when the likes of, not to dig out his name, but Capaccio, for example, made a few mistakes? Why are we acting surprised as if, like, he's not supposed to lose the ball at all? Like, it's a difficult position. Playing right back, you're expected to attack and defend, also be quick, also have a lot of stamina. And yes, he does lose the ball a couple of times, but against Wycombe, he did that, and he recovered the ball most of the time. That's why it's important that we do have cover. You have the right wing cover, or centre back that can push over, and you have your Ryan Wintle, your number 6, drop in and become a third centre back. It's having all these plan Bs and plan Cs in place. Now, we are imminent for like some transfer activity, whether it's in our club or not, I don't know. I've seen recently as well that Louis Giles and Will Spears have both gone on loan now to National League club. I can't remember what it was. Is it Lancaster something? I can't remember. But yeah, it's the one with the plane on it. I know that. Yeah, I'm really happy they get out some loan experience. Both play the same club. It's going to make it a bit less intimidating for them since they both know each other, and no doubt they'll get plenty of game time. I mean, for me, they walk straight in the starting lineup. I think that they've got a massive steal with their team with Will Spears and Louis Giles, because I think Will Spears is a phenomenal player as much as Louis Giles as well. And I say that in terms of their potential, but also we've already seen the quality they can do. I mean, that goal to be fair, both of them, Louis Giles, that free kick he scored, I mean, wow, first of all. And secondly, that Will Spears finish where he just bends. It looks like, I think he was trying to cross it and it goes, like that team they got on loan to now, they're going to have an absolute field day with them. They're going to discover a lot. But let's go back to comments because I'm reminiscing about our youngsters now. Evening, Reese. Sorry I couldn't join you this evening, mate. In a lot of pain. Oh, God, man. I hope you're all right. I got everyone's ill or injured. I'm really sorry to hear that. No, honestly, don't feel bad again for any of the hosts or co-hosts that cannot be here today. Because I've just recovered from a bit of illness myself. Nothing major, but I just hadn't stopped sneezing for like the God knows how many days, and that's not usually like me. But, there's something going around again, probably. Yeah, me too. Prayers going out. Honestly, get well soon, everyone. At this point, had a slip in the ice coming home from work. Oh God, man. I actually, funny enough, right? Slightly off topic, I will say, but the cold weather has indeed hit us, and I actually walked to work for the first time today because by the time I would have de-iced and defrosted my car or demisted or whatever, I would have got there on foot. So I thought, let's just walk to work instead. And fair to say that at 5:45 in the morning when you walk into work, it did wake me up. So yeah, that was an interesting thing. I walked back. So brave me, I know. Evening, Jonathan. Hope Robertson is good, but stays out of the book. Yeah, that's the one thing as well. I find that like we did lose something when Robertson went off, but at the same time, it's frustrating because he did the same at the last preseason game, or one of the last. Was it against Notts County or something? I can't remember reverse now. But yeah, it was a game. I think it was Notts County. I think we lost it, or we drew. I don't know. Yeah. he almost got himself sent off. He kept doing silly fouls, and in the end, he ended up going off because he had to have stitches in his leg because someone had a nasty foul on him. So that was a shame for that, and hence why it took a while to get back. But at the same time, you look at it and think like he's been doing this for a few games now, where he's just been picking up needless yellow cards. And look, I think playing him at the number 6 role, you're going to expect him to make some more, to be more aggressive and physical. No problem with that whatsoever. But that needs to be managed, and that could have cost us the game. Not saying that it was Robertson's fault why we lost or drew the game, but that could have cost us a bit because it forced us to make an early sub. I think they made an early one as well, I think. But I don't know. It's like, it could cost us another day. Like he was playing all right apart from the fouls, I thought. And I thought he was quite good in attacking field. He's someone who can play both defensive, attacking, and central box-to-box midfield. But it was just a bit of a blow, really, when we had to make that early sub. I thought I'm trying to think back now to it. The 3 subs that came on then, I thought they made a bit of an impact, but not as much as I thought. Obviously, that Robinson chance that he missed. I mean, look, I don't apologize, on social media for that. You don't, no matter what, it doesn't matter if you're a striker or whatever, no matter what position you play, right? You should never have to go into social media and apologize for missing an easy goal, even if it is a proper sitter. I do feel a bit bad for him that way because we would all like to say that he should bury that and, that we would all score that goal. But if you look at how his foot is, he's trying to go. I can try as if I'm going to show you then. You can't see my feet. As if he's trying to side foot it into the net, because if you use the side of your foot, it's slightly more accurate. You've got a little bit more room for error if you hit it on the side foot, as opposed to if you put your laces through it, because it's easier to miss putting your laces through it. So he's probably overthinking it and thinking, oh, I need to just hit it on my side foot to ensure that, I don't miss swing it and that'll be embarrassing. And then maybe he's overthought it, and which has caused it to basically hit it out. But I suppose when the ball's coming at you with pace and everything, and again, the Capaccio one, I think, is another one. I don't actually know if Capaccio is to blame for that. I get it, he's at the front post or whatever, and he should get some contact on it from defending that corner. But I look at it and it's like a bouncing ball. It doesn't look like an easy ball to deal with. Like if it was in the air and it was in line with his head, or it was just meeting at his feet, then I'd understand that. But it's kind of an awkward ball because, let's be honest, it was a great cross anyway. Like that ball basically went in without getting a touch of anyone. So, it's not often you see a corner goal. And yes, obviously, we should do better as a team. But I think for Capaccio, I don't know. I think people giving him grief for that. I could be seeing a different goal, but I can't say that he's a complete fault for that goal. I think everyone switches off, and being honest, and Sai said the other day as well. I think it was yesterday. He said it that we just have a tendency to switch off, and I think that's the only thing that's left now. We've got all the quality there, and sure, there's still more to add, but we just mentally switch off, and because sometimes we overthink or we overplay, which I hear that now a bit is overplaying, which I couldn't agree more. It is overplaying. We're trying to do too much when we realize that sometimes just being more direct is exactly what you want to do. But there we are. Hope we go fast. Yeah. Playing snowball fights at your age, bound to pull something. Yeah, exactly, Paul. Body of an 8-year-old or whatever. Don't diss yourself like that, Reece. Come on. Anyway, let's move on. Was Bacon rested? Thought could be injured. I don't know. I'm assuming he was rested. I mean, even if he's injured, Brian Byworthy probably would have chucked him on the bench anyway. Yeah, I think he was being rested because Kane Ashford was rested the game before, so I could only assume, unless he was injured, God forbid. But I think we would all know if he was injured because it'd be making front page news and all be up in hell. I mean, who do we have for left back cover then? We're looking at the youngsters at least, aren't we? TJ Parfit. I mean, unless you want to put Perry and at left back again. I mean, he did a decent right job. I still think he's way better at right back or even centre back. But considering his past as a left back, I thought he did pretty well. Jonathan says still snowing in Swansea. We had nothing in the Rhondda all day. We had a little bit. I woke up with a very, very small coat of snow, if that really. So 1927 club refused to let some old person get upset about using the name. Hey, I don't know. I said both to cover all grounds, okay, Reese? So don't slip me for it. It's not too bad this season. One sec. As soon as I go live, dry votes galore. Not too bad this season, Evan. Post reaction last year was me ranting for 1 hour every single week. This year it's one minor issue. Honestly, I don't want to say I miss the Reese rants, because I want to say, by the way, I should have trademarked that term, because it was me actually came up with it when I put before it even appeared on the show. I just put in the comments, so I just kept spamming it until it became a thing then. But yeah, so you have me to thank. Don't know why I tried to coin that term, but yeah, I obviously, Reese rants now and again can be exciting, can be like get your your venting out. But if I'm being honest, we kind of be nitpicky, I suppose. I think we also said at the start of the season that we're not going to do a full Birmingham. It's not going to be as straightforward as that. It never was going to be. But you look, we're top now. We're only 3 points clear. But then you think of Lincoln, who's second. We got a game in hand over them. Bradford lost the other day. They lost. Who did they lose to? They lost to Mansfield Town 3-0. Like, I mean, Mansfield Town were 13th, and like a game later they're like 9th now, which is crazy. I mean, I still think they will drop off. I still got feelings that they will drop off a lot. I don't know why. I have something against Mansfield, but you look at the likes of Burton Hove Albion. Why is it? Did I say Burton Hove Albion? It's Brighton and Hove Albion. It's not. There's no Hove in Burton. It's just Burton Albion. Burton Albion a 1 win off 13th, and they're 20th right now. They're just outside the bottom 4. So let's go back. Cardiff City fan says, for me, Capaccio had a good game attacking, but Kellyman was superb. I thought attacking wise, I thought he was pretty good. And even when he lost the ball, he fought back and recovered it a couple of times. And that's what you want to see. Not obviously losing the ball, but I think the main thing is the fans showed their appreciation. You could see, they were sort of applauding him for getting back and winning it. And that's all you want. And sometimes it is the case of you just have to get back and just leave a little silly foul in there, one that is not going to get you carded, because just to quickly stop the fast break. But no, fair play to him. He is a grafter. I mean, a lot of them are like hustlers as well. So that's the one. Thank you guys. Everyone is Eastleigh. Yeah, Eastleigh. I thought it was Lancaster, or I swear on the badge it says Lancaster, unless I'm thinking something different. 2 left backs to Evan. Do you mean the? Oh, I thought Will Spears is right back, unless you're referring to something else. Are they actually? Kieran Evans and James Waite are not there as well, surely. Last thing I heard was Kieran Evans at Newport, but unless he's recalled now, I'm not sure. Giles and Spears come off the bench after 64 minutes in a 2-1 win today for Eastleigh. Oh, nice one. There we are. So they are kind of being chucked straight into it. Yeah, let us know. Let us know if anyone's a stat nerd. Because I usually use FOTMob for everything, which probably isn't the most reliable source. Because, yeah. Kellyman starts at number 10 for me tomorrow. I'm not going to read that one. And Robertson should start. I mean, I thought, even though it wasn't his best game, I still thought Chris Willock was man of the match, really. I think Reece said that as well, actually. I was watching the show that Willock was man of the match. And to be fair to Willock, I think he's probably been one of the most improved players. I said in my most improved sort of like awards thing, I put Callum Chambers, but I was thinking of Chris Willock, because both of them this season have had a bit of a glow up, let's be honest. I think Chambers is really showing why he's been nominated club captain now. Chambers and Wintle, I'm not sure why, but they seem like similar players, or they seem like they have similar leadership qualities. Like, I don't know, but either way, I'd be happy as either of them as captain, but I would probably prefer Wintle, if I'm being honest. Chambers, though, is like, it's taking him this long. You think that, but at the same time, you go through different managers all the time. It's going to be hard to try and find any consistency. Then you've got the manager pretty much week to week changing the centre-back partnership. And to be honest, it hasn't, touch wood, It hasn't caused us too much issues so far with the centre-back partnership swapping all the time. I would have liked to say that, we would keep with Will Fish and Dylan Lawler. But if I'm being honest, I don't mind this rotation as much because we're still winning games. We're still winning and drawing games. And I got to be honest, our form right now in the last 5 games isn't terrible. It's 3 wins, a loss, and a draw. And you'd probably take that right now, wouldn't you? I mean, why wouldn't you? Also, you would take more. But there's not many teams. But literally Peterborough, I think I might misread. No, it's literally just Peterborough who won the most games in the last 5 so far. So Peterborough won 4 and drawn 1. They're literally top of the form table right now. No one else has matched that record in the last 5 games. Yeah, are you sure? Rotherham are going down. Can I just confirm that now? Rotherham just down. I mean, they lost their last 5, but I still think there's they're going down, let's be honest. Plymouth made a bit of a comeback, but they lost 4-1 to Reading, and drawn the last 2 since. I'm just quite interested about the bottom of the table as well this season because it's 4 teams that go down. I'm not used to seeing 4 teams going down. Oh dear. But yeah, guys, I'm going to stomp through some more comments as well because the lovely comments are in here. I will say, though, I won't be able to get through, or probably won't be able to get through every single comment. Oh, you can tell I'm a bit bunged up still. So please leave a super chat if you really want your comment to be read out. That will guarantee your comment does get read out. It's not a requirement that you leave a super chat, but it really does help out. Every little helps the channel, and helps us continue posting 7 days a week. And sometimes, a lot of times, multiple 7 days. Yeah, sometimes multiple times a day as well, which is insane, really. Sai's got a massive content machine, which is really nice to hear. Let's have a look what we got. Am I nervous about the BBM links? Not at all. I laughed when he was linked to Strasbourg or wherever. There's no way. Like, if he goes right, Brian Murphy, right, and this could all change in a heartbeat. But I highly, highly, highly doubt it. Even if the likes of a Newcastle, a Bournemouth, a Wolves come in, I don't think he takes the job because, Wolves probably already offered him a job in private. Maybe, I don't know, allegedly, I'll say that as well. I don't think they have, but it's, the chances are they might have. And I'm not at all worried because even if he's offered, big wages and everything, which obviously he would be if it's Premier League, he's in the middle of building something now, and it would just feel like an absolute waste for him and for everyone else if he was just up and leave right now. And he's not. Especially in January as well, such a fragile time. So let's just say, right, let's say theoretically, let's entertain the offer, even though I know it's not going to happen this year. Let's entertain the offer that he goes to Strasbourg or whatever. He goes there and it's already, the January transfer window is already opened. So, he's in a short space of time, whatever. He's got to assess the squad that he's got, how well or how poor they're doing. He's got to get to know the personnel at the club, the personalities, what's the changing rooms like, the dressing room or whatever. And look, with us, right, he had a very small amount of time to get to know everyone. And that's probably one of the reasons why we didn't sign that many players, because he didn't really get to know exactly what he wanted straight away. And to be fair, we've done well as it is so far. But at the same time, it's like, we didn't make signings for ages because he took lots of time doing preseason and everything to get used to the squad and get to know the squad, get to know who the troublemakers are, if there were any, or, who likes to be a showboat, or, all that stuff, right? That takes a lot of time. You're not going to get to grips with a new team, a completely new team, especially in a completely different country and different league and everything, in that short span of time, and think like, okay, I'm actually going to get a grip of this, right? You're not going to be off the flying starts. I'm telling you that almost a guarantee. You're not going to be winning every game straight away. With what he's got now, right, he's put a lot of time and effort. He's got great coaches around him, like Lee Riley, and the other analytical guy, Lovelady, and all the other coaches. I just think wouldn't it be an absolute waste for him? Now, look, if he wants to say, again, I'm not entertaining this too much, but if he was to go next season and we got promoted to the Championship, again, that feels like, if he was to go elsewhere, regardless of where he went, you'd probably think, you know what, if I stay with Cardiff, I could have maybe got back-to-back promotions with them, and getting back-to-back promotions as a manager sounds way better of an accomplishment than it does, managing for Wolves or Strasbourg and getting sacked a few months later. Like, doesn't that like sort of cross people's minds? That, like, I remember in his uncut interview as well saying about how, he used to think that winning trophies was like a normal thing because of his dad's Jimmy player. Is it Jimmy? I think it's Jimmy. Yeah. And then he realized then when his dad went a period where he didn't win anything for a while, losing cup finals and everything. And that's when he said, oh, okay, he realizes that's what, losing's like. That's what, the norm is. So for him, I think BBM's probably want to prove a point for himself. He said he wasn't really the best player ever, so he wanted to get into managerial business early. And I think that this for him would be his biggest accomplishment, not if he manages a big club, but if he manages a smaller club or a fallen giant like us, for example, and achieve great things with that. I think that is a way more wholesome and ambitious project to go for, as opposed to, Brian Murphy was a manager at Crystal Palace for a year or so, but then they had to sack him because the results weren't going his way, or, it's like, just hypothetically speaking, but that's how I see it. I think he sees the project behind this, and obviously he's a selfish gains of wanted to, do something, but I think he also did take quite a bit of time to look at Cardiff as well, and the interview that he had, he really impressed in. So obviously he showed that he cared about the club, about the culture, the history, of the Welsh capital city. I mean, he doesn't give me the impression, long story short, that he would just up and leave. I don't think he's that kind. He's not going to pull a Rob Edwards. Sorry to dig that name in. Let's have a look. Cardiff City fan, mate. Well, thanks for engaging, man. I really appreciate it. Joel Colwell was the easier chance for me. I can't remember that one. I just remember hitting the bar. I think I literally looked away for a brief second before he hit that. But I remember hitting the bar, just rattling the bar, and I was thinking, Christ, could have gone in. But yeah, there we are. You can see Kean Ashford starting too. Fair enough, yeah. I think we did Wigan really good at the reverse fixture. I think we only won 1-0, but we tired out is it Paul Mullin or just this striker just making them run and just tiring them out. It's perfect game plan, and once they're knackered, then we'll attack. And we were just tired out the Wigan, and there's very poor attendance that game. They don't seem to fill their stadiums that much now. They're just one stadium, not plural. No, Osher, please, Chambers and Dylan. Oh, okay. So I have a thing, right? I kind of sort of I did a ratings thing in the WhatsApp group chat, which if you become a member of Cardiff City World, then you'll get access to. I was posting the chat about the ratings I would give, and I think I gave Osher a 4.5 out of 10. And look, I thought if you take away his 2-3 big mistakes, I think you'd give him a 7, maybe 7.5. But as a more senior centre-back, and, some mistakes are really costly. I mean, Dylan Lawler's pass given away to a Chelsea player cost us the goal. And, I felt bad for him, don't get me wrong, and he's 19 years old. You can accept that. What I can't accept, and look, I will give players a bit of grief when I feel like they deserve it, just because I feel like sometimes that's the best way that players learn is by getting a bit of criticism. And it's nothing personal, but in terms of the football aspect of criticism, that one chance where he literally basically let the defender or the opposition take the ball off him. He stood off it. I don't understand what it was. The second occasion he did it, he was waiting for the ref to blow the whistle because he thought that someone else was fouled. Now, look, I understand the nature of the game, right, is to dive on the ball with your hand and to get the foul and all that. I know that players do that, and it really annoys me because it's so petty. and he didn't dive on the floor. But the fact that he was waiting and looking at the ref to give, to blow the whistle, to give the free kick, infuriated me. Like, the one thing I hate the most, or one of the many things, to be fair, I hate about, certain players or tendencies is when you're waiting for the foul to be given. Another thing is when they take the ball in the corner and they just keep it there. I don't care if you're just trying to play out the last few seconds. I'm not a fan of it. It looks ugly. Like, it's like, you don't just, like, if you're winning the game of darts and then it's the other person's turn, you don't just run up to the dartboard and cover all the ball, do you? It's like, come on. But I'm getting off track now. But in terms of those two mistakes that he made, I don't see what his thought process is behind that, and pretty much letting the opposition take the ball off him, even if he expects a foul to be given. You play until the whistle, and you never assume. It's like, to me, that I can't understand that. What I will say is, though, if you take out those 2-3 critical errors, I think he had a good game. Like I said before, though, it's like, one mistake can be costly, like the Chelsea goal. Unfortunately, like, again, I'm not going to give like Lawler any stick for that, but I'm just saying that's what happened. It's a nightmare error to make, and sometimes it does happen because I've been in those situations. Don't worry, I believe me, I've been there. It frustrates the hell out of me sometimes. Like, when the thing is, though, because like, with him, it's never ability-wise, because Osho, I know, has got the ability. Whether it's the case he just completely switches off, or he just, like, one time you'll underhit a pass, and it's like, it's so underhit. It's not like it's a little bit and it's a bit risky. It's like he's literally letting the opponent take the ball off him, and that's what scares me, really. And look, maybe he's just got to play through it at this point and get in the form. And I know he's a good defender. Like, I'm just saying this now. He played for Luton, he was decent. And I'm sure when he's played elsewhere for OCN and other clubs, he's been great. But I just don't see it at the moment. I don't know if I want to see him play next game. But I would give him the benefit of the doubt. I'd probably start him tomorrow. Why not? I maybe put Lawler alongside Osho. Or actually... would I put Chambers and Osho next to each other? I actually wouldn't mind seeing that, to be fair. If we go Chambers and Osho, and then we go NG Capaccio as the fullbacks, and we have quite a quick team around them, I think that can work, because I think Osho can play at pace. I think he can be quite good at that. But I think he's still adjusting, isn't he? So, let's not give him too much stick. Let's give him time to adjust. It's painful for me to say that, because I see some of the mistakes he's made, and to me, you've got to drop him for that. But at the same time, I get it. He's new. I feel so like horrible saying that. You know what I mean? Because I really do care about him. I do like Osho and all the players. For me, it's like, if I was a manager, like, he's not straight back in the squad straight away, but I can understand putting him straight back in just to let him forget about the mistakes. I think the longer you're sat on the bench or you're not playing then after you made those mistakes, the more it plays on your mind. So I've been there. Yeah, I'm sure he will iron out the creases, no doubt. But I kicked that ball with Robbo. I kicked my coffee table. Oh God. Let's have a look. I really did think Tanner made an impact versus Wycombe, but rushed too many passes. Yeah, that's what you saw from Tanner. There is exact difference between match fitness versus physical fitness. I think coming into this game, he was physically fit, but he wasn't match fit, and that's only going to come with just playing more games. He's going to play through it. And I know Tanner, even just getting the ball, when I see him on the ball, right, he faces directly to the defender. And it's like he wants to take him on. And even if he will dribble to the outside and put a cross in or cut inside, he still faces his man first and then dribbles towards him. What you find is, and Kean Ashford, to be fair, does it a few times as well, but what you find is before, especially with the likes of, I'm sure this is Rob's favourite guy, Josh Bowler, or was it Matt? I can't remember which one now, but I think it was Rob's. And at the start of the season, first few games, right, he would dribble straight at the person. He scored debut goal, Josh Bowler, and you keep the ball so close to his feet, but also so close to the defenders, to the point where one of them was going to trip up, and usually it was the defender, and he's really good at that. He had such good ball control. But then the more, the longer Bullet was there, it seemed like he'd coached him out of it and didn't want him to take on players. Now, for me as coach, if I was coaching them, right, I would go very direct, not as direct as Neil Warnock and just go route one and, just hoof ball. But sometimes, especially if you're trailing games, that can work. I just think sometimes when we score late goals, it's because we give ourselves another option than to be really direct. That's something that I think we've got to think about. Let's have a look. Osho couldn't play 90 minutes. He looked knackered, and the game was only two days ago. Look, I won't spend too much on Osho, but I know obviously people getting commented as well. I think for him in this case, I think he was good. He's I think he's just got to play through it now, because those few mistakes, if you took them out of the game, if you took those away, he had a pretty good game. And they say Osho was superb. So, again, I think for the majority of it, I think he was pretty good. Was already 2-1 when our boys came on, but they had a lot of defending to do against this big side going route one. Eastleigh fans are happy with them. I was going to say that wasn't our game, but fair enough. Percy, yeah. Actually, guys, get your comments in. Who would your centre-back partnership be? Percy, I go Chambers or Fish with Dylan. Hey, it's tried and tested. It's reliable, I guess. Oh, hello, here we go. He's gone with his full lineup. Let's have a look. Trot, NG, Fish, Lawler, Bagan, if fit. I think he has needs to be rested. Wintle, Robertson, Kellyman, Ashford, Willock, Salek. Okay. I think, yeah, I would honestly, I would be fine if they went with the complete same side, or if they made one change, they put NG on the bench, give Kapako a start, and then just put Bagan back on the left. I think we will see that, because if it's a home game, I think Bagan will be fully fit. Excuse me, I always yawn. I mean, I was up at 5 again this morning, so I think I have my reasons. Let's have a look. Reese, David Evans says, really thought NG was solid at left back, but Bagan was just a rest, I think. Can't imagine they'd allow Giles to leave on loan until someone else was brought in, to be honest. I like to think that either A, they've already got someone lined up, or B, they got TJ Parfitt as emergency cover. But BBM right now, he will sort of he likes players who can play multiple positions. And whilst last few seasons we've been using square pegs and round holes, I think the players he's been targeting this season, I think you look at Osho now, he could play as a number 6 as well as a number 4. You look at, who else we get? Omari Kellyman, a multitude of positions. Primarily he's an attacking midfielder. He's a number 10, but he never started there. He started on the wing, on the right wing. He sometimes swaps and goes in the left wing. Omari Kellyman can also play striker if needed, and he would do a decent job, I think. I think at parts in the Wrexham game, he was more or less up front, or at least he was that second striker, advanced playmaker, because you saw him in the middle a lot and quite attacking, let's say. So, he can play like 4 different positions if needed. Who else do we sign? Nathan Trott, I mean, he's amazing goals. He's probably good outfield as well at this point, because I tell you what, some of the passing he can do, my God. I mean, I would like to see a few less Cruyff turns and just kick it up there. But to be fair, he does a mix now. Before, he would just pass it from the back. But I like how he does sometimes go long. And he's really accurate with his long kicking as well, which is nice to see. Please, let's get promoted. Oh, my God. I want him permanent, please. Even in the Championship, can you imagine Nathan Trott? Nathan Trott will be even better in the Championship, because he's coming against strikers who are going to be much better, some of them ex-Premier League strikers. So, I think if we go up, there's only positives to keeping Nathan Trott. I don't care how much money you got to give him. Just give him the money. Just make it. I think they've already agreed on a fee if they do get promoted. Let's have a look. I'm going to scroll a bit through the comments, guys. I'll try my best. Graham, evening, mate. Let's go. Let's have a look. Trot, Energy, Fish, Lawler, Bacon, Capaccio. Capaccio in the wing? Oh, Kellyman wing. Robinson, 10. Wintle, Davis, Salek. Oh, okay. It's quite a fast lineup you got there. Very mobile. I like it. Robbo plays where? I have him floating around the centre midfield. To be fair, this is going to be really interesting, bold claim. What would you guys think, right, of Robinson as a box-to-box? Oh, no, I've offended people now, haven't I? If you put Robinson as just a traditional centre midfield, I think we see a lot more of his ability come out. Obviously, I think he scores less goals, naturally, but he will create a hell of a lot more. I think right now, for him, it's very frustrating, probably for fantasy as well as himself, how he can't get the ball in the middle that much. Like, very rarely. I mean, teams in League One, man, it's 5 at the back all the time. It's a 5-4-1 or it's a 4-5-1 formation. It's so hard to penetrate through the middle. And obviously what we're doing is, doing that wing rotation, trying to disorganize the defense. But I think it gets frustrating sometimes when you're playing attacking midfielder, your back's to the goal, and you're just trying to look for pockets in the middle. And, he's done pretty well for the times he does get the ball, but I can only imagine it'd be really frustrating, even for the likes of Ruben Colwell. I think Ruben Colwell is someone who will see the ball kind of more open body, so he's more facing the goal. But I wouldn't be against it if we just try Robinson in one game, Callum Robinson in midfield, not attacking midfield, but just centre mid. Maybe then you got Alex Robertson at attacking midfield, and then you go with a Wintle then as your defensive midfielder. That's a very mobile and quite agile midfield there. And yes, of course, that means you're leaving the likes of Turnbull out, possibly Kellyman, and Joel Colwell, Ruben Colwell if he gets back fit. Then it's like, but you got such a creative person in midfield then, alongside the likes of Alex Robertson, who's very technical, and then you got Ryan Wintle, who's a more modern number 6 destroyer. But yeah, that's a bulk. I mean, I'll scroll down the comments later on. I'll see what people are reacting with that. Let's have a look. Oh, Dunt, yeah. Yeah, Hugo, oh my God, he's back there. Oh, man. Hugo was good for us, though. I thought Jordan Hugo. I was a bit of a shame how, I think he was only a loan from January, though, wasn't he? But he scored quite a few for us. Huddersfield put him on together. Yeah, Huddersfield's all right, but I say Bolton dropped off a bit, right, didn't he? Lost, win, lost, win, win, lost, draw. Evening, mate. Hello from Ireland. Nice to see you. Honestly, it's really nice. We get people from all over. Collie Dub, is it? How's the snow there? None, just frosty. We don't get much snow. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, I suppose it would be cold, though. Is it going to be a trophy parade if we win the league? I hope so. I would like to think so. As standard, right? Usually it's for winning the league, yeah. Hey, even if we get automatics, I would love to see one anyway. Just the fact we're going up. I mean, we got one when we, we finished seconds, got up the last into the Premier League. So why not, innit? Why not? What's the best castle in the Cardiff area? I want to come over and do some castle hunting. You guys have some good ones. I'll let you all say that, to be fair, because Cardiff Castle, probably. I'm not sure about that one. I haven't heard of that one before. Do you think Lincoln will make playoffs? Oh, I think they'll make playoffs, but I don't think they'll win. They play some ugly football, but fair play to them. The ugly football sometimes wins, and they are very much like old Cardiff of it doesn't matter how you score, just score. And hey, if it works, it works. Big Castle guy myself, Reese says, do some every summer. Highly recommend Caerphilly Castle. Yeah, to be fair, it's good. Even as a trebuchet in the grounds. I hope I said that right. I'm not good at stuff. Got any names you'd like to see us going for, Evan? Usually football stats. Yeah, look, I did. Oh, let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I I had a list. Cardiff. Let's have a look. Transfer targets. Bear me 2 seconds. I might have transfer shortlist. No, I don't know if I can find it. Shortlist. Oh, I do actually. Okay, so if I'm looking for, who did I go for? Oh, this Adam Phillips geezer. Let's have a look at him quick. To be fair, I would be looking at Barnsley right now, and my favourite team, Burton Hove Albion. So Barnsley have got this. Let's see how look. Let's just refresh that to make sure I got it. Adam Phillips, right? So a while ago, I saved this guy, Adam Phillips. He's from Barnsley. He's 27 years old. What is he? Is he a winger? I can't see. He's an attacking midfielder, but he can play like a number of different positions. He's played 19 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. So nothing, amazing. But this is back when we had Tanner Ridge to get injured, I think, and I thought of someone to add some depth. However, 1st of Jan, so literally New Year's Day, he scored a match rating of 8.1. So I think he was man of the match, I think. Yeah. So he's been quietly like putting in solid performances. He doesn't get a lot of game. He gets all right game time, but here and there. So Adam Phillips is someone I quite like the look of, because I do a bit of scouting myself sometimes. Who's the other one? Charlie Webster. I would look at trying to sign him, but now it's like you've got Joe Colwell and you got everyone else. But Charlie Webster is the reason why Burton Albion, or Burton Hove Albion, should I say, why they're doing all right. I think without him, they go down. I genuinely think without Charlie Webster, I genuinely, to this day, I still don't know how he's at the club. Is he on loan? I think he's gone a permanent. I don't think he was on loan from Chelsea. I think he got sold in on a permanent possibly. But I think he's a really good box-to-box, and he can score as well. I mean, he scored against us, but he's got, the finisher of a championship striker as a box-to-box midfielder in League One, which is insane to me. And he's got absolute bags of energy as well. So Charlie Webster would be something I would be looking at as well. However, can he do it in the Championship? I think he probably could with the coaching of Brian Barry Murphy. Do I think we'll get either of those players I mentioned? No. And I wouldn't be too disappointed, if we weren't to get them. The other guy, and I know Reece David Evans said this as well, Dominic Ballard from Leyton Orient, their striker. He's only 20 years old. Let's have a look at his stats quick. I'm not as much of a stat nerd as I used to be, but I am recently. 18 matches, 11 goals, and 2 assists. You cannot say that you would be unhappy with that record so far. If you say, like, at the end of the season, how many games is it? 42 games? Or how many? 24? 44 games? I don't know. 46 games, is it? Or I can't remember. But if in the season, say 46 games, I'm pretty sure it is, and he scored you 20 goals, I mean, you'd be happy with that. He scored 11, and it's only been 18 matches. Granted, he started all 18, but that's neither here nor there. He's not picked up a single card either. He's 20 years old, man. I would be getting him ASAP. The other one is Caelor Dunn. He's a striker as well. I need to figure out to spell his name. Davis Caelor Dunn for Barnsley. Again, one of the top goal scorers. I think he was until Salek overtook him. 21 matches, 11 goals, 1 assist, 2 yellow cards. He's literally played loads of games, like all the way to the end, 90 minutes. I know it sounds bad, but I think the other thing with him is some of these players can be a bit patchy in terms of their goals. I think Caelor Dunn scored quite a few at the start of the season. But yeah, those names I just said there, like, just, maybe have a look at them, just see if they're any good, because Caelor Dunn seems to be like always scoring. And I think even though you're going from a League One club to a League One club, I don't know if you would turn down an option to go to Cardiff. You probably look at us thinking, okay, well, Cardiff City clearly going up and Barnsley aren't. And it's the top goal scorer. Would he fancy a move? He's just got to know, and whether it be him or anyone else, that he's not going to be starting. Like all those players I said right now, they're not guaranteed starters. They're your rotation players, possibly starters in the future. But I like looking at like younger players who would were a bit too good for the club. One more I will give, because you got me a element now speaking. Where is it? That Lewis Wing. I mean, I think everyone's heard of him from Reading now. 23 matches, 7 goals, 4 assists. But ignore the stats. You look at his performances and you look at his match ratings. 7.7, 7, 9.3, 7.5, 8.1, 7.9. It's like he's consistently getting great performances, and he's such a good dictator of play. Mind you, Lewis, he's 30 years old. I thought he was a youngster. Yeah, he's like Reading's number one, basically. Not keeper, but like number one player. So, you're probably forking out a bit more money for that, even though he's in his 30s. I don't know, if you're looking for a bit more experience, Lewis Wing will be a solid option to go for, especially if you got tired legs and everything, and might put him out and just run riot. Oh my God, the time's go by fast. I'm just getting carried away now. But yeah, thanks, Jonathan, for the comment. Let's have a look. What else we got here today? Hey, Reese Lasky, evening, buddy. That's both Reese's here tonight. Reese knows ball. Yeah, she does. Which one? I know history, but try using that to. Okay. Exactly. 5-1 that likes football, Reese. That's right, Jonathan. Let's have a look. I think Osho was good for 16 minutes. Looks strong and fit, as he's been a while with us. However, not sure if it was tired mind after 60 minutes. He sort of switched off. Lawler and Fish, too good there. I think when you compare him to the centre backs, and look how seamlessly they fit into it, albeit they have their little mistakes as well. I mean, you could, a couple games ago, months even probably, Will Fish switched off completely for a corner. Yeah, so that was the thing. But hey, you can look back to just as far as preseason, albeit they were just new then. Fish and Lawler, I can't remember who said it. I don't think it was a host on here. I think it was a different channel or something. Fish and Lawler in the preseason friendly, an early one, they both went for the same ball, basically just clattered into each other and then conceded because of that. So, everybody makes these mistakes, and all these howlers, they do happen. It's just, it's the game we didn't want stuff like that to happen against Wycombe. But hey, we come up with a point. Could be a lot worse. People giving the lineups as well. Go on, let's have a look in. Trot, NG, Fish, Lawler, Bacon, Wintle, Robertson, Kellyman, Davis, Salick, Willock. I might have read these out already, some of them, I don't know. Bluebird, FC11 says Trot, NG, Lawler, Fish, Began, Robertson, Turnbull, Kellyman, Davis, Ashford, and Robinson. Okay. Leaving out Salick then, is it? Or, I mean, using Salick, score all the time. Can you blame him? Hit Salick every time versus Wycombe. I think you mean like to play him, I guess. Is NG all of a sudden better than Capaccio? Is he more solid? Maybe a little. Is he better on the ball? Probably not. Capaccio's underrated how good we look in possession when he plays in comparison. I think NG was really good dribbling with the ball the other day on New Year's Day. I don't know, he just turned into like a midfield maestro all of a sudden, and he inverted quite well as well. I don't know, he's good. He's good with faking. I don't know, he does that one move where he sort of like looks like he's gonna pass it, and he'll just cut the way and make the defender look stupid. But I think NG is back to his best. I mean, he hasn't taken many free kicks since, but I'll tell you what, you can't really fault him, and it's hard to drop him, is it not? Not saying Capaccio's been poor. I think he had a bit of a patch when he was not feeling too well, and he's a bit off it, but every player has that. And Christ, he's like 18, 19 years old. I keep forgetting how young some of these players are. Whereas NG's like 27, 28. Now he's they say 27 for footballers, usually their prime years between 26 to 29. But it's different for everyone, I know that. Osho was quality against Wycombe. Yeah, I say this, again, I wanna say I think he was really good, but those few mistakes were almost costly. Let's have a look. Christ, guys, thanks again for your comments. And again, I'm trying to go through as many as possible, but we've got literally like 4 minutes to burn here. I might run slightly over just because, and to be fair, I think I was a bit in there. Tanner won't be ready to start yet. He'll be an impact sub. Yeah, I don't know. I think He's not fit yet, is he? Let's be honest. He's decently fit, physically fit. Like he doesn't look like he's just come back, as in like when Mari Kellerman first started back. Well, when he first started with the club, you could tell that he was not fit when he was given like 10 minutes at the end of like, the Exeter game or something. You could tell he was miles off. And even now, I still think he can get fitter, like every player can, obviously, but I still think he's probably like 85% there, but he can give us a lot more now. And I think Tanner's at the point where I think he's like 75% there, where he was being aggressive. He wasn't afraid to make a challenge and, win the ball back as well, being aggressive and always pushing the guy off like the ball. But I still think, it's the first game back. He had about a good 12, 13 minutes or so. And yeah, we just got to be patient, haven't we? Literally there, Cardiff City fans says, yeah, waited ages for Kellyman to get the team. You won't be. I think Kellyman was, like I said, it was a bit of different gravy though, because I think Kellyman was someone who just come back from like injury and hadn't played football for a long time. Even though it was unfortunate, fortunately with Ollie Tanner, advertising boards only seem to keep you out for a few months at best. Nearly crashed my car in disbelief in Jim Robinson to be played in midfield. You've been drinking, Evan. Oh, JT, man, please, I hope I'm never liable for something like that. Christ. No, like, look, I'm just saying, like, there we go. We caught up with the comments now. I'm just saying, like, try it. Like, I am a trier, guys. I'm literally a trier. If it's suicidal to put in midfield, why not just try it once and see if it actually is going to ruin us? Look, I'm not saying I want to throw the league away, but we've got the quality in this team. We are miles better than 90% of the teams here. The only teams that I see us causing any further trouble are the three teams that are just below us, which are Lincoln, Bradford, and Stockport. If I was to look at one of the lower down teams, I would probably say, I don't know, the only team I would say is probably Peterborough right now, because they got on a really good run. Like, don't get me wrong, like they were awful. First game of the season, they were awful. But now they've got Luke Williams in, the Bristol Airport manager. It's like, I think they're doing really well. They should probably look at CVs at British Airways a lot more, shouldn't they? So, here we are. Let's have a look at the transfer thing. Trebuchet or whatever. I can't remember what the word was now. Be nice if there's a Cardiff City World spot if there's a bus parade. Honestly, that'd be nice. In the future, maybe. We'll have to get a few more promotions first, I think. And I think our channel is getting quite well known now. I think there's so many different Cardiff City podcasts, which is great to see, But hey, we got big competition, but not many of them are posting every single day, multiple times a day, are they? So hey. If you can't play Robbo at 8, he doesn't put a tackle in. I don't know about that. I think you force him. If you play him at number 8, he hasn't got a choice. He hasn't got a choice but to start tackling. But that's one aspect of being a midfielder. But I would know that if you were to put Robbo in like a number 8, hypothetically, just entertain the offer again, that first of all, you'd have to step up his defensive game. But secondly, I do think he defends anyway. He's just defends at the front. He presses. It's a different kind of defender at the front. You're not going to win. You're not going to make many tackles when you're, playing attacker, midfielder, or striker. You're going to be pressing the keeper, pressing 2 centre backs. There's a lot of running. So I think there's a myth that he doesn't defend. He does. He will tackle. If you play, and look, and obviously you never want to see this. If you play Callum Robertson at centre back, he is going to focus more on defending than trying to score. Like, let's be honest. I mean, he's still probably trying to score, if I'm being honest, but you understand what I'm saying. Passing ability isn't as good as his shoot ability, getting close to the goal. See, I disagree there. I think his passing ability is really good. I just think sometimes, especially in League One, it is more difficult when you get barged about all the time. And I do think other players don't have the same reading of the game that he does. He has the experience, whereas the youngsters don't yet have it. He can play at a faster pace. He can make loads of tight passes. And I do think that he is a really, probably one of the most talented players at the club right now. probably is the most talented. I say Callum Robinson. And look, you can say Yusuf Salek, he's the best goal scorer, fantastic. Yeah, I say we have so much talent in the squad, but you cannot deny that Robinson has played at the top level, at West Brom, albeit, but he scored goals against Chelsea and all that, and he's played in systems that are much higher level than anyone else has played yet. I mean, you could say maybe Callum Chambers is the only one that comes close, but we've only just started seeing from Callum Chambers. And again, a centre back is very different to an attacking midfielder or striker. But yeah, it's like, we've had a couple of players in our squad who've actually played at the top level before. So naturally, you would expect them to kind of bend into different shapes, really, wouldn't you? Can't be looking at League One players when we're going for promotion. Again, I think I get what you're saying, but I disagree, and I love disagreeing with people, not just for the sake of it, but I think some people, right, when you bring them up a level, some of them just take to it like a duck to water. You think of it now, right? We're using pretty much all our youngsters, with the exception of a few like seniors. You cannot tell me that, if we stayed up and we were to use a bunch of our youngsters, that you would be disappointed with that. You'd have been in riots about it, because for so long in the Championship, we've been screaming to everyone, play the youngsters, play the youngsters, play the youngsters. And then, we get annoyed when the manager says, and rightly so, that they're not ready. Okay? Well, how come all of a sudden in League One do they just suddenly get chucked straight into the first team? Dylan Alola, Ronan Capaccio, Kieran Ashford was already there, to be fair. Joel Colwell, and like all these players all of a sudden come out of nowhere. Before they're either on loan or they weren't anywhere to be heard of. Louis Giles, Will Spears, Axel Donsev, I think it's Donsev I pronounce. Tankovic. It's like all of these players, half of them we hadn't even heard of before, and now all of a sudden they're getting chucked in. I know it's League One, but like, we were screaming for this in the Championship because we knew that they would give it much better. We were screaming for Reindorf to start over Wilfred Kanga. Like, come on, like we I don't think Reindorf is at that level now. I look at it, but like, we were screaming for this over the Championship. So I'm not having to go, wow. I'm just saying, like, I just think that, like, if we're going for League One players, we're not going to pick any like grab. We're going to pick like the best of, the biggest fish in the small pond. That's what I mean. And they just have that next level thinker as done. It's like the Kayla Dunn guy, right? He's scoring goals more or less almost for fun at this point. Same like with Yusuf Salek. Like Charlie Webster, he's like the best player at Burton. And if it weren't for him, they'd probably be relegated already, there's a few others like Leighton Orient, they're doing really poor, but they've got a really good striker. Unfortunately, just having one good player in your squad doesn't mean that you're going to get promoted, but you can pick the best of a small bunch, and you can build a great squad. It's what I call Moneyball. I think it's called that. You look at players not just based on their market value or just on like how you'd see them overall, but like you might find a certain quality, like Warnock did, was great at Moneyball. He found very cheap players, but he found that they were very physical, they were very big, and they knew how they had really good long ball passing, and that was his style. And he found his players, and that's what got us to the Premier League. He could have, if we had a bunch of money, we could just buy loads of Portuguese players like Wolves did, but we didn't. But even they would have had an idea. It's not so much that you have to go for a big name. They might have that one quality. They might be super fast and be able to dribble, and that's all the players you want. I mean, Crystal Palace did that. So, but yeah, no, I understand where you come from at the same time as well. I didn't mean to label that point to anyone then. I just wanted to, say there was more method to my madness than people realize. You say I'd take all three of those players. Yeah, honestly, I would as well. But at the same time, we don't want to just take it for the sake of it. But that was done like a few months ago. I made that list, to be fair. Connolly as well. Yeah, Aaron Connolly. What is he doing in League One? Honestly, I think he's injured right now. Connolly's 11 goals, assists in 20 is fire for a winger. Was it Aaron Connolly? Or am I thinking Aaron Connolly? Or is it? Am I thinking that? Is that his name? Oh yeah, but anyway, he's just. How is he in League One? Was he at? Was it Brighton? I think. Um, let's have a look. Can we get Onyedima to show Salek how to get a free kick? Hey, I tell you what, he's not a bad player. Well, I did have a rant to say like, God, he's just a free kick merchant sort of thing. He's not a bad player in terms of he knows where to throw his body, but and he is pretty quick. But I didn't really see him hit the ball that much. Possibly, I'm not sure if he has, but I think he scored the same amount of goals now. But I think Conley's played less games. Kayla Dunn is about 28 and Barnsley, what about 5 mil for him? Yeah, well, they can shove that, can't they? I mean, it's fair enough because that is like in the latter half of your prime years. But 5 mil League One, I mean, yeah, you scored, you know, I don't know. I think there's better players in League One you can get for cheaper than that as well. Ballard wouldn't go for 5 mil. Ballard would go for 3 mil. They would take Leighton Orient would take 3 mil for Ballard. Like they would have to. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just because clubs aren't in the position. Like Barnsley aren't in the position to just say like, no, you can't have that player for that. We want more for him because Championship clubs, Premier League clubs, just scoff at that. They'd be like, "What are you kidding?" So yeah, no need to downgrade to league players when we got Championship team. Hey, I mean, it is what it is, bro. But at the end of the day, I respect it. I respect your opinion anyway. So, League One players. I see what you mean. Yeah, Charlie Crew, I'd have him back in a heartbeat. He's a pretty good passer. I mean, when he played against us, I just think that ship has sailed now. But there we are. Right, guys, I'm going to end it real soon, but I'm just going to go through the last few comments. I really appreciate you all getting involved. Let's have a look. I think Bradford and Lincoln like Stevenage tail off, and I can see Bolton, Huddersfield going on a run. I don't know. I think Bradford will still be there. I think they come off. I don't think Lincoln will be there. I think there'll be playoffs, but I think I just spat everywhere then. I think Bradford would carry on the push then, I think. I don't know. Who knows, honestly? Who knows at this point? Reece, truth is you could spend 5 mil on a Championship player and be disappointed, or pay 2 mil for a League One player, develop for 2 years and sell off a big profit. Hey, and that's what we forget as well. Fair point, Reece, is that sometimes football is just business, and you buy a player, you loan him out, come back, realize, oh, he's good, but not good enough, and they want that player, and you cash in for a bit bigger. I mean, it's probably not going to happen with Simic. He's probably going to go for cheaper, if anything. But sometimes, hey, that's what I call the Chelsea way, honestly. Chelsea will buy a ton of players, give them ridiculous length, like long contracts. And then after a couple of years of loaning them out to God knows how many different clubs, same with Man United, they do the same thing. They'll then settle and just sell a player then. But they'll always make a profit off it. And fair play, they make a profit. But that's the way it is sometimes. Graham, I couldn't go anymore. I think he will go down in history. Well, he wouldn't even go down the floor TV. He wouldn't do nothing. He would move, but he would go down in history as one of the most non-existent players. I would say I'd have a statue of him outside of Cardiff City, but I think I'd just have him stand there because that's all he was. He was literally a statue when he played for us. Oh wait, did he play for us? I don't know if he played for. He just stood on the pitch. I thought he was a pitch invader. Oh, honest to God, right? I'm never one for personally attacking players, but it's not even like he didn't want to be there. I've never seen someone do so much of nothing in my entire life. Even Kenwyne Jones did something like I can be honest. I watched Kenwyne Jones play a few times. He just jog around the pitch for a while, but then occasionally you just score a goal out of nowhere. Ike Ugbo did way more than Kanga. Christ alive! Oh my God! I mean, I know we just got to say like, oh, it just clearly didn't work out here, but he must have been held against his world playing or something. I genuinely have no idea. But yeah, I don't want to rant about Kanga. Jesus. I stay for an hour. Yes, I've done it. Don't worry, guys. I've done it an hour, 10 minutes. Have you looked at the underlying data on Bray Brooks? Since you got linked with him yet? Yeah, I saw they mentioned. I don't know if it was Glenn Williams or one of the post-match interviewers asked Brian by Murphy by like, are you looking into Braybrook? He just went, no, and that was it. He walked off. Then I don't know. I if we're gonna get him on a permanent, I would take him. I'm not taking him on a loan. You know what I mean? Like, no way am I taking him on loan. I don't care how good they say he is. Nah, he's a Leicester player, and if he wants to come to our club, he's coming on a permanent. Because if I'm being honest, sure he's a decent player, but I don't think he's that good. It was a Newport, wasn't he? So yeah. Oh mate, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if we made any profit. If I'm being honest, even Tom Sang, I think we let go on a free. I think that was criminal, really. I mean, was it a free? I think, but he went to somewhere else, Newport. No, he went to Port Vale. Yeah, I don't think he's still there though. Can't remember if he went to Northampton for a bit. If McGuinness was worth 11 mil, what's Dylan worth? Well, I can tell you what, he's worth at least 20 mil and a newsagent's pick a mix. That's minimum, at least 20 mil. I think he will go for about, I hate to say it, I think he will go for about 16 mil. I mean, it's still money, but for me, minimum 20, I'd say. But I think if we're being realistic, if he goes in the season 16 mil, if he stays for another season, he goes for 30 mil, I think. Because Championship is when people start paying attention. That's when eyeballs are on him. How much do I think for Fish? Right now, I'd say he's... See, I think Fish is almost just as good as Lawler, but he just doesn't have the eyeballs on him. So I'd probably say Fish should go for about 8 mil, which is still really good. But again, in League One, you cannot justify the value of the players that much. I think that's one of the reasons why Brian Murphy is so adamant on holding on to these players. I think they wanted to stay as well. Don't get me wrong, they're not held against their will, but I think you can't. If you can, you don't want to sell in League One. Sell in the Championship if you have to. But then, if you get promoted, you buy into the project then because you've got that winning feeling. And you have to, go on to much bigger things if you're going to leave Cardiff after just getting promoted. That's the great winning effect, really, isn't it? I don't care. I genuinely do not care. I don't think we had a player like. Look, I have seen some great players in the history of watching Cardiff in my short span of time. Okay, in about probably 11, 12 years. I mean, I'm not 12 years old, but since I've been watching Cardiff. And I've seen some amazing players, and I've seen some dog awful players. Ike Ugbo was like, I think it was someone where the system didn't suit him, but he still scored. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he did nothing for like 80 minutes, and then you just score. And it was like, oh, okay, well, fair enough. And you wouldn't know whether to start him or not then, because it's like, okay, well, you just bring him on as a super sub because is it going to take him 70 minutes to wind up to a goal, or is he just going to come on and score then? But he went on a great run for Sheffield Wednesday. They signed him permanently, and he was terrible again. So it's like you can't predict that. But I know people's thoughts on Gary Medine. I still think Gary Medine did something. He at least hit the crossbar when taking a penalty. Or was it Saeed? I can't remember now. He did something, but he was bad, and we thought that was bad. Holy moly! If we knew about Kanga then, oh god, was that the one who scored? Who scored from halfway line? Which one? Oh, maybe Braybrook you're on about. Yeah. BBM wants to think about transfers until they're done. Yeah, he wants, isn't he? Yeah. Right. Oh god, we're catching up now. I have a habit. I just want to get through to the end. Don't think we even get close to the 10 mil plus package deal from McGuinness. It was based on promotion back to the Prem, appearances, etc., and he sold off before he even reached any of the landmarks. Yeah, he moved. Where did he go to now? Yeah, he McGuinness is at Sheffield United, is it? Because he played against us when he was at Luton, but was the transfer window still open? I think it was, wasn't it? I can't remember now. Big eyeballs already on Lawler. Can't get much bigger. top prems. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And I just think Will Fish at the moment, we got a hidden gem because I think he's been so underrated. I just hope if Lawler goes, I hope at least we keep Fish. You know what I mean? Because Chambers is aging and Fish is still really young. So I think he's 22, I think. So he's a bit older than Lawler, quite a bit, a few years, but still young. One was promotion bonus and they got relegated. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to laugh at Luton. Sorry, I do, but there we are. Yeah, Sheffield United it was then. Cardiff City fan says we had some weird strikers like Ike Bo scored 4 from his first 4. Yeah, and Cabo was good. No, I disagree. Well, it's not he did nothing else. He was very much the last man striker. He was like a poacher. I mean, he target man to an extent, but for being honest, the overhead kick, that was enough already, really, off that game against Watford. Oh my God. I miss Cedric Keeper as well, that game against Rotherham. Oh my God. He did twice, but yeah. Oh yeah, he played for both Sheffield teams. That's mad, isn't it? You think you get booed or not? Oh no, because he went on loan to Sheffield Wednesday. If Lawler goes up, for me, the money has to be pumped right back into the academy to find the next Dylan Lawler. I think we've already got some promising talent. I'm not saying we got any Dylan Lawlers yet, but it probably won't be the centre-back role, but I think we've already got a gold mine in a few other players. That 15-year-old Doncev, I think because it's spelt Donku, but it's because it's Polish, and I had to search the right pronunciation because I didn't want to get in a bad habit then. But Tankovic as well. I think they're both players that, I mean, 15, 16 years old is ridiculous. Like, when's the last time, apart from, Aaron Ramsey, that you saw that? You probably didn't, Oh, did I skip past you? Sorry, John. Fish isn't the pretty defender, old school, no nonsense. Yes, I love that. I love a no nonsense defender. That was most interesting, that type. But he can ping the ball around a lot. That's the thing, see. So I think it's just that he's just got on the radar. Can you remember Sheffield Wednesday fans saying, like, EK only stopped scoring for us because we crap? Go and fire it, yeah. Oh, Christ. Last comment there. Thank you so much, guys, for joining anyway. But I completely changed the subject. But Willock lately has been good, just needs to improve. Yeah, as I said that earlier on, to be fair, he has been, I think, man of the match, deservedly, really. Also, guys, before I just finish up as well, what I want to say as well, the rumor mill is back on Tuesday. So Sai's got that comeback, which is very exciting. Get some more, probably a bit better scouted information than me, let's say, more current as well. So that's back on Tuesday, the rumor mill. Sai's already got 2 bits of exclusive news that he's picked up in the last 24 hours, which I've been told to tell you a lot. So it's always interesting watch on Patreon, CCFC World members section. So yeah, if you're not already a member, please, and even if you are a member and you just probably forget about the Patreon sometimes, please go and use it. Use it to your benefit, because you get early access to things, exclusive news, and live tickets to events that come. So yeah, I think that's everything. Let's have a look. Yeah, guys, look at the the Wigan full tactics preview. It was out earlier today, by the way, that Sai put out. So please do go watch that. Matchday video is out at 11 a.m. tomorrow. The 3 big Qs, and then after the game we have the breakdown pod at 8:30 p.m. So please, guys, all tune into that. Thank you so much for being with me tonight on my own again. I mean, I don't mind it either way. I'm happy to go solo, but equally as happy to be with other people. Yes, I have. I've reached the end of the comments. Don't worry. No, sorry. I wish. Yeah, exactly. Thanks. Yeah, no 1927 club tomorrow. As Sai's doing the post-match show tomorrow night. That's it. Keep the comments going. Guys, I love you so much, but I'm gonna have to end it. It's still going. It's all right. Cheers, guys, and I'll see you all soon.
This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards, from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop. when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the Spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.